yeah, 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 look, ball player, no watching from the side. Said that you got him next, well go ahead and show him why. No limits in the sky, go ahead and take your shot. This one is for the city, let's show him how we rock. Coaches used to call my phone, what you doing, just got home.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Up Next, the podcast where we tell you who's up next in youth sports. We're in it again with basketball, heavy into basketball again today. I'm Jamal Murphy, and of course, I got my co-host extraordinaire, Khalid Green, in the house. What's up, man?
Peace, everybody. I'm happy to be here and more excited to be crossing the border and going to Canada tonight with one of the legends of grassroots basketball, not just in Canada, but all over the country, man. I mean, all over the world. And that's my man, Ro Russell. And so he's on here tonight, and we have other special guests along with him. Uh, Many people consider the top player of his class, Elijah Fishe, along with his father, Rohan. So welcome, brothers.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, welcome. And like you said, Khalid, we got a grassroots legend in here, Ro Russell. And you know, from all accounts, we may have a future legend in here in Elijah Fishe. But you know, there's time to go for that. But let's well, first let me start quickly with Elijah, and then we'll talk to Ro for a second because he has to get out of here pretty soon. But Elijah, let me just to start off, just tell us how when you started playing, and when you got that love for the game. How long ago was that?
I started playing around since I was like 3 years old. But when I really built the passion for the game, I was about in grade 5, and that was around the time I met Coach Ro, and he really showed me what I can do.
No, good stuff. So Coach Ro, tell us about your relationship with Elijah, and we know you have a long history in Canada producing top talent. A lot of these guys are in the NBA as we speak, but just tell us about your relationship with Elijah and what makes him special.
Well, we have a pretty good relationship. It all got started in meeting up with his father, Rohan, back when Elijah was in the 5th grade. And after we had that long talk about, working with Elijah over the next several years, then we struck that very close bond and relationship of, understanding the importance of development and putting that exposure piece to it, and saying that we're going to go after every top player in America to show that you're just as good or not, if not better than them. And, it's been a very close family relationship throughout this journey. And, we have a very open relationship in terms of, what's on your mind, how do you feel, what do you think, let's figure it out, how to make it best for everybody. So it's been a very good, very great, journey so far.
So talk about your history, how you got started in this game, because you've really built an empire in Canada. All kind. I mean, at this point, you don't even talk about Canada as if there's any really talent level difference than the United States, because you've produced so many guys that have showed improve. But when did you get started in this business, and what did it take to get to this level for you?
Well, it's been a very, very, long time coming, and, started out very, very, very tough at the beginning because Canada was a hockey country. So you had to fight through hockey and all the different resistance with that. And then, being a black man and, those kind of things, you had to fight the racism that comes, the systemic racism that comes with it as well. And then you had to work and just, produce these players and develop them and educate them and travel all over America and prove yourself. So it's been a very hard journey, and thank the Lord, God, for being by my side and give me the strength to do all the things I've done and give me favor, and met great people over the decades. And, we were able to show and prove that there's top Canadians anytime, whether it be 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, low major, mid major, high major that can do it just as well as the American counterparts, just that they got more than we do. You know what I'm saying? And here we have Elijah Fisher that, like I said before, he's going to be the best that, I ever had, and probably the best that we've produced in this country.
And talk about, I'm gonna get a little more arrogant for my man Ro right now, because he's very modest. These listeners might not know, when you say he's the best that you've ever had, let's talk about your resume.
That's a big statement.
Yeah. Let's get to the brass tacks and talk about your resume, Ro, and who we're talking about on that list.
Well, it's a long line. I've almost had 500 guys go Division I in my tenure, and I've had almost a dozen guys go to the NBA, the likes of Andrew Wiggins and Tristan Thompson and Corey Joseph and Mike Kabongo and Brady Heslop and Dwight Powell and Andrew Nicholson and Ken Birch and, a host of other guys that have, had a cup of coffee with the NBA. And I had a great career in the G League and those kind of things. And, was even training RJ Barrett when he was younger and advising his family all the way through. And so there's a lot of them that have come out, and a lot in Canada, that I haven't had myself, but in Canada, whether it be Jamal Murray, who, as you know, had a very, very hot playoff series. And, obviously, the great Steve Nash, the Hall of Famer, and, the list goes on and on. But, I think that the thing that separates Elijah and what his potential is, he's had that mentality in like the fifth, sixth grade. And a lot of those guys didn't have that when they were coming up until they're like 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. So if he keeps on that trajectory of really developing and really, going all the way through it, who knows what could happen over his lifetime.
So how would you describe the basketball, the youth, the grassroots basketball scene in Canada now? Is there a big difference between what's going on in the States now, or have you closed that gap completely?
We've definitely closed the gap in terms of all through Canada. Now there's different pockets of places outside Toronto, which is the hotbed, where they're really producing some pretty good players outside the main city and area that we have in Canada. And guys are going down to America at prep schools and being, star players. They're being ranked in America, top ranked players, going to major universities and doing great, and then also getting drafted. So we're definitely closing the gap. We have 38 million and America has almost 200 million. So that's the biggest difference right now. But we're really having an opportunity to prove ourselves. We're in the gym all the time. We're getting better. We're going to America and proving ourselves at camps and tournaments and with AAU and high school. And we're going to keep it going, So it's been a really good, go at it.
I think something that's underwritten about the dynamic is the African diaspora, because a lot of people like to give Canada credit or even give America credit, but these are basically original African, the motherland, and West India is where
Right.
a lot of these young men come from. Even they call the Greek freak Greek, but he's not Greek. He's from Africa. So talk about that, Ro.
Absolutely. Well, Giannis is, he's Nigerian born and grew up in Greece, and even like Elijah, his father is as I am, from Jamaica, and came to Canada and made it happen from there. And whether it be Tristan Thompson or even Jamal Murray's father is Jamaican, and the list goes on and on. Whether it be Corey Joseph's father is Trinidadian and Guyanese, and it just goes on and on in terms of kids from Greek. African background or West Indian background or African American background. So, you're absolutely right in terms of that even though we're living in Canada, all hail to the motherland.
Absolutely.
So Elijah, let me ask you, how you got to this level. Like we mentioned, you're pretty much a consensus top 5 class of 2023. 6'6" combo guard is how I've seen you described. you know, you don't get to this level. It's not easy to get to this level. How did you do it, and how much work did it take?
It took a lot of work. The way I did it was just really sitting down and putting down together a plan with everyone that was in my circle, to seeing what I can do to get better and make my skills get from the level that they were from before to where they are now, and just a lot of dedication and being obsessed with the game.
And let's talk about, I know Ro just talked about a mentality, and it seems like I read about you, young bro, and it seems like you have a edge. Because I saw on your text messages, did you have like a "you suck" message that was?
Yeah.
So talk about that, man. Like you have a I read where your father saw the text message or your mother saw it, and it's something that you just kept because you saw a tweet or something that somebody sent, and you've used it as motivation to push you. Talk about that type of mentality.
Well, that mentality happened a long time ago. But when I really put that message into my phone is when I lost the game, and I felt like I could have done way more in that game. Even though I had 30, I felt like I could have produced more to help my team win. And then I just put it in my phone ever since then. When I feel like I'm comfortable, that message just comes down onto my phone and lets me know that I can't be comfortable.
Mm, mm.
At what age were you when did you feel that you could really be special at this game? Like, when was it that it clicked for you mentally that, I could be great?
When I figured out that I could be great, it was at the age of 12 or 13 when I really thought that I can take this game to another level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ro told us something offline, which is unbelievable, but it's believable, that you started dunking in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you remember you remember that first time still?
Yeah, I still remember that first time. It was heart racing and it was just shocking because I remember I was working out with Junior Kaduk and all of them, and then they're all doing athletic moves, and then all of them said, "Let me see something," and I just went up and I just dunked it. I was like, wow, just jumping around, never knew I could do it.
I'm
Wow.
still saying wow. I have some 9th graders in the gym today, and they still trying to dunk. So,
so tell us about your routine. Your I'm assuming you work out daily. What's your routine like? The hours you put in on a regular basis, the different things you do to keep getting better.
Well, my routine now since school started is I wake up, go in the morning, get in the gym, get some shots up. After that, then I go to school, depending if it's online or in school. Then after school, when school's all done, we have team practice. But before team practice, I do a little bit of strength conditioning to get my body right. And we have team practice, do some team practicing, and then get some shots up after it. Come home, get some homework done, and then same thing the next day. But then on weekends, I try to get in the gym 2 or 3 times a day.
And this led up to, how long have you had this routine? Like since 5th grade, or has it picked up since getting to middle school or high
Since the
school?
5th grade, it wasn't as intense, but when I realized I could really take it, I made it way more intense. I've been getting in the gym way more, trying to get it.
And see, that makes sense to me because I also did some more homework where I read your stat line as an 8th grader. Ro, this is ridiculous. Ro, as an 8th grader, we're talking about 23 points, 0.5, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, Ro?
Yes,
Ro, what's the cheat code, baby? What's the cheat code, Ro?
Hey man, hey, I think there's something in that Caribbean water,
I think you're right.
Guys go to that next level because people don't understand that wasn't just like playing middle school, because Elijah was in playing varsity, like elite varsity with me from the 7th grade, and he actually beat out a guy in the 7th grade to start as a 7th grader playing varsity, elite varsity. So as an 8th grader now starting, he averaged those numbers as an 8th grader, in playing elite competition, like top competition, 4-star, 4.5 stars, 5 stars, traveling to the States, whatever. So it's not just like in some low-level league with some,
Right.
Some okay talent. Talk about elite talent averaging those numbers. So I just want to put that in perspective, what I'm saying, in terms of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it must be something in the water, or must be something in Mr. Fisher's pots, because I know Jamaicans are known for oxtails and
Yeah, yeah,
and rice and peas. Mr. Fisher, man.
absolutely.
Mr.
That's
Fisher,
it.
talk about this journey, man. How's this been for you, man, as a father?
You know, it's been good. It's been real good. Um, to see Elijah and how dedicated he is to the craft, and the time that he spent in the gym just working on basketball, and how obsessed he is with it, and seeing all the success that he's attained just through his hard work. It just lets you know that once you put your mind to something and you're gonna focus in on it and just put in the hard work, then anything is possible.
When did you as a father know that you had something special basketball wise on your hands?
I'm gonna tell this story, man, from his birth. A lot of people don't really understand. Like I played basketball as well, but no, and at his age, nobody could tell me that I wasn't gonna make the NBA.
Mm.
But later on, reality struck. But when he was born, I said a special prayer over him. I'm like, please, dear Lord, let this one year be the one. Let him be a basketball player, please. Looked at his feet, his length, and I'm like, okay, he's all good. He's good. So from then, I knew that he was going to be a basketball player. So
Praise the Lord. And now I see why Rose got to go to church tonight.
oh, he has to.
I understand. But go ahead.
So okay. So you had I mean you had a basketball background yourself.
But yes.
And and you always loved the game, yourself.
Up to this day.
So you transferred it over. It's genetic almost, or not even almost.
Absolutely.
It's genetic.
I used to bring this kid here to my basketball runs in a stroller and have to fight with him to keep it in a stroller and stop running on the court and trying to touch the ball.
Right.
Wow.
So it went from way back.
Wow, that says a lot, and we're hearing a lot about, that goes back, I guess it starts in the cradle, because I hear a lot about his motor. Like, a lot of people have said that he has a motor. He doesn't stop, offense and defense.
Yes.
Where does that come from? Even Elijah could speak to this.
Well, I can tell you, in the pot, man, I put a lot of yam, banana, dumplings, all the Caribbean food. I got a recipe, but I ain't gonna give it all away though.
No. Listen. Don't do that on here, man. Don't do that on here, Pop.
I see you getting all hungry there. I see you.
Yeah, give me some jerk. All I want is the jerk chicken formula. That's all I want.
Hey, they have the jerk chicken formula in the store, but it's not all the same like what we do here, man.
I know that.
It's a little bit different.
I know that.
So Elijah, you're getting all the, you have all this praise. You're highly ranked. People, Rose saying that you could be the best player that he's ever had, come out of Canada. How do you process that? Like does that type of praise affect you one way or the other?
It doesn't really affect me on anything. I view it as nothing really, because I'm not where I want to be. I have a lot of dreams that I want to turn into reality. So everyone's saying this and that. Well, I haven't got the job done yet, so there's nothing to be happy about yet.
And what are those like short-term goals and long-term goals that you have in mind?
Well, to start off, my short-term goals is just to get better and better every day I go in the gym as a basketball player. And academically is to get my grades, to keep my grades on par, which they are right now. And then for my long-term goals is to see a big smile on my parents' face when I do something great, and to inspire my younger brothers to show them that they can do way more.
That's a hell of a statement, brother.
So it sounds like you're in your at least third or fourth year playing varsity high school.
Yeah. So I'm in my third or fourth year.
And I guess you and Ro can speak to this. How did you end up at that high school, at that particular school? How did that work out?
Well, basically, when Elijah was in the 6th grade and he was, developing at such a fast pace, I had gotten the job at Crestwood Prep. And, met with his parents, and I told him, I said, the way Elijah's going right now, we got to really extend him and really challenge him and really put him in this situation where he can really benefit from these, years that, could be regular middle school years that you're not really, working on your game as much or competing, but he could go in a platform in varsity, elite varsity basketball where he can really, extend himself. And so they visited school and checked it out, and they liked it. And Elijah really wanted to push himself and play with some of the older guys that we had in the program, like Jacoby Neath and guys like that. And, like I said before, he ended up coming in the 7th grade and starting, as a 7th grader, which, never been done before, for someone to do so. So, it's extraordinary what he's been able to accomplish so far.
And I read where Elijah does not want to almost do what all the other guys done, which is go play at the Monteverdes and IMGs, and he wants to. Do you still want to stay home and create your own pathway? That I read about that. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I still want to stay home, create my own path. Cause I feel like the player I am and the skill level I have, I feel like there's no need for me to go over to America and just to be ranked on some ESPN rankings or anything. Cause I feel like with my skill set and everything, I'm good where I am. The looks are gonna come.
Right, and you're absolutely right, because I spent as a scout. I was at that BioSteel game, and with a bunch of scouts, and we were running all through Canada looking for players and going to that camp. And so scouts know who you are. They're gonna know who you are going forward. So the game has changed, and you're absolutely right. You can't stay home, and why would you want to leave that oxtail and the gravy and all that stuff anyway? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
homemade.
Yeah.
I assume you've been able to play some of the top talent in the U.S. in the off season, have you?
Yeah, I've been able to play them off season and during school season. Be able to play them.
And how have you felt, in terms of how you stack up or competition wise?
Competition wise, and the way I stack up, I feel like I'm a better player than everyone that I really played. I feel like I've showcased my talent even when I was younger. I felt like I played the hardest I can and really showcased what I can really do. And it's just more and more for me to get better.
How would you describe your game? Like I said, people saying combo guard. If I ask you how you play the game of basketball, how do you answer that?
I answer as a killer. I'm a killer instant. I'll kill anyone I see. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter where we are. I'm killing you. I feel like I get my team involved to hype them up. So it's not just me doing all the work. They're helping out, chipping in. And I feel like I can score the ball at will. Either shoot in mid-range, pull up for 3, get to the basket, get to the foul line. I rebound, block shots, run the floor. I do everything for my team pretty much.
And what players do you look up to? Either model, take parts of their game, model your game after, either on the college or professional level.
Players that I look at are players like Kevin Durant, the way he has that killer instinct. He always has a chip on his shoulder to do something. LeBron, Kawhi, Curry, all of them, Harden. I really like the way that they play, and they always play with a chip on their shoulder that they have something to prove.
So the best of the best. He's looking at all of them.
Love it. And what do you think that you have to work on to part of your skill set to really take your game to a whole nother level?
To take my game to a whole nother level, I feel like I need to work on just moving without the ball and just able to catch the ball off curls, back doors, and it really enhanced me scoring the ball even more and just helping my teammates score more.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, and I think I might know the answer to this already, but how much do you love the game? 10 being the
11.
highest.
11.
Love it.
I like that. Go ahead.
So, okay, so you said when you go into these games, you look to kill, which is the appropriate answer, because that's exactly what you should be looking to do. But let's get off something. When you have your earphones in your ear, all right, what songs are getting you hyped, man? Like I I reviewed your little list right here, man. Are you starting with Drake or are you starting with Gunna? Like, what are we doing here, man? Little Baby, what are we doing, man?
Right now, for me, I'd say Lil Baby, Gunna, Lil Uzi, all of them. All those high intense music that get me pumped and ready to go.
All the littles, all right? All the
Yeah.
littles, all right? Got you.
Yeah, which he is far from little.
Far from.
So the opposites attract, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. You know, you mentioned as far as high school that you plan on staying in Canada, doing it differently. What about, have you started to think about college or the NBA? Whether you want to play college basketball or do you want to go straight to professional? Have you thought about that?
Well, for me as a player, I felt like if I go to university, it'll help me a lot. But right now, I haven't really thought of what would be the best situation for me. It all depends on what's the best for me as a person and a player to grow.
Mm-hmm. And also, I noticed, you're not just a basketball player. You've already mentioned, concentrating on your academics and being the best you could be in that area. And also, I saw recently that you said you were excited when Morgan State was recruiting you because, you felt you wanted to consider going to an HBCU. Other players have a couple other players, including Mikey Williams, have mentioned wanting to do that. What's your thought process as far as that goes? Like considering HBCU, obviously you can tell you're socially conscious, but what went into you talking about Morgan State in that way?
Well, that about HBCU, I've always wanted to go to one since I was a younger child because growing up in the neighborhood I'm in, I don't really get to learn about my history. Even going to the schools I'm going to, it's not dominantly Black, so I don't really get to know about the history that I want to learn about. And I don't want to learn about other people's histories. I want to learn about my history and how that can make me better in the world. So it's always been something I've been considering.
Yeah, I have a guy, Julius Allen. He's assistant coach there. I know the whole staff, so I'm sure they'll be happy to hear this podcast right now.
It's like a Christmas present.
Yeah. Real good shout out right now, baby. But that's interesting, man. Like, so the fact that you want to know your history, I love Black history myself. What was your mindset when you saw the protests and LeBron James with his social justice and promoting it the way he did, and the way he used his platform? What was going through your mindset as a young athlete, young Black athlete?
As a young Black athlete, when I see other people using their platform, it makes me feel good because I see that other people realize that everything that's going on in the world right now, that it's wrong and that people need to speak up for justice.
Right. Absolutely.
Rohan, let me ask you a question. Kind of similar to what we asked you before, like what the experience has been like watching your son grow to this level and be this successful. But when you look at this entire experience, what he's going through, what he's going to go through in the next few years, what do you want him to take from all this?
Along the way, I want him to learn. There's going to be bumps along the way, and I want him to learn and grow through those bumps. And I want him to accept and know that failure, it's not necessarily failure, it's life learning lessons. And I want him to take those life learning lessons and just remember and just kind of grow along the path to become a better man. And just embrace failure. Know that failure is not the end of it, because great businessmen, they succeed once, but they fail like hundreds of times.
Right.
So as long as you don't give up, don't ever give up. Just make sure that you get back up, dust yourself off. Don't spend too long crying and looking at the wounds. We ain't built like that.
Right.
Get up and brush it off and just move forward. So in life, he's gonna know that there's gonna be a lot of struggles and things may not go his way, but it doesn't mean that he should give up. You always find another way and keep grinding.
Absolutely.
And how about you, Ro, in terms of, as well as anybody, the ups and downs, people expectations, whether you meet them or not. What do you look for, from Elijah in terms of, moving on in this process? What do you want for him out of this?
I want Elijah to, out of this whole process, to be the best he can be the best version of himself, and reach for the stars. And whatever comes his ways, just knock it down. Just have that straight mentality of reaching your goals and your dreams, and don't let nothing get in the way. Anything that does come in the way, then have that, like he's had that mentality of going through it, figuring it out, and keep learning. Like Rohan said, in terms of growing from it, and knowing next time when similar things come around, and just make his mark, and do it. He did it his way, and was someone that everybody knows and remembers, and with can learn from, as well as because Elijah has always been that give back guy, going to different camps and talking to kids, and giving back at different community efforts and stuff. So to have that legacy in terms of, he was that guy that came to a middle school and a grade school, and talked to kids, and not just being one that just did it for himself and just his family alone, but someone that gave a little bit of himself to everybody, because he has a lot to offer.
Absolutely.
Well, all right. Thank all of you guys for taking the time out to talk to us today. This was great. It was enlightening. Again, to be a top guy at this level, even at your young age, it takes focus. It takes a special focus and determination, and you definitely have that, and obviously you have the people around you supporting you with the same type of focus and determination. But
Yep.
So like I said, thanks again. Again, Elijah Fishe, top 5 consensus 2023, class of 2023 prospect out of Canada, 6'6" combo guard.
Actually, he's 6'7" now. He's
6'7". Correction.
Sorry,
Correction.
6'7" and growing.
Need that inch.
only a sophomore. Crestwood Prep, right?
Yeah.
At Crestwood Prep. Of course, all schools won him. Also, thanks to Ro Russell, grassroots legend, founder of Grassroots Elite in Canada. And thank you to Pops, of course, Rohan Fishe, for joining us and producing this monster talent.
And since it's Jamaica, we have to give a shout out to Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey. All right.
One love.
One love. One love.
For real. No, but thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank y'all, brothers, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we're watching you, Elijah, of course, and rooting for you and all that. But it seems like you don't need much else for success, because it looks like you got it. You're determined.
And keep that text in your phone all the way through, man.
For sure.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
All right,
thank you.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like he's a monster. Elijah Fishe. Look out for him. Like I said, top 5. Some people have him 2. Some people have him 1 in terms of the top talent in 2023 out of Canada. Canada's doing their thing.
Big time. Canada.
It's no surprise anymore.
No, it's no surprise. Some of the best players. We had the number 2 pick come out of Canada with R.J. Barrett, who's now having a successful campaign with the Knicks, and in 2019 they had 6 draft picks.
Right.
So Canada is not sneaking up on anybody, and a lot of it again has to do with the African diaspora. All these brothers are from the motherland one way or another, and they're showing and proving that we're all the same athletically and with supreme IQ. We have high intellect when it comes to a whole lot of things, more so than basketball.
Yeah, that goes without saying, for sure. Like you said, all that talent coming out of Canada, and then for people to seriously be talking about him as maybe being the best ever to come out of there. I mean, you know,
That says a lot.
that
It
says
says
a
a
whole
lot.
lot. So, you know, we'll keep an eye out. Elijah
Right.
Fisher. You heard,
Elijah
if you
Fishe. Remember
haven't
the name.
heard it yet, you heard it now.
And he's 6'6", not six. He's 6'7",
Yes.
not 6'6".
My bad. You know, I should have known. I should have known he was still
Correction.
growing. Only a sophomore, right? Only a sophomore.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So everybody, thanks again for listening to another great episode of Up Next. Keep listening, keep subscribing, keep reviewing and rating the podcast. Give us those 5-star ratings. We appreciate them. And of course, follow us on social media, on Instagram at UpNextPod, on Twitter at UpNext_pod. And there it is.
Yes, sir. Peace. Till next time, family.
Peace.